thinking about, we established why leveling program is critical. How do you define or think about the program requirements that are relevant for today's partner? So Dave, I think, what would be for you the key requirements of a modern leveling program?
Yeah, sure. We're probably like everyone else, we do have some of the basics, right? So what are the revenue requirements and what's the training to get there? And what we did was we're looking at how can we make this a path that the partner chooses, and we don't want to force them into something that they don't want to do. So, for example, our revenue and training requirement is really low if they just want to be a fulfillment partner. And some resellers are happy with being fulfillment, and they're getting the business from Thales, and they're closing the deal and fulfilling, and they're taking care of. For us, they're working through distribution to take care of payments and things like that with the end customers. But as we have more partner types, we started looking at, well, maybe there's a different path they want to choose. Maybe they want to be really looking at creating new deals, finding new opportunities. And for the opportunities is really where we have provided a graduated benefit. So in other words, the discount that they get for fulfillment is flat. It doesn't matter if you're a gold, silver, platinum, or depending on what the names of your program are. But when we look at deal registration and really finding new business, that's one of the things we really want them to do for us. So we provide significant increases in the discount as they bring in more deals and drive more business. And then the last piece that we've been really investigating is something called drive sales, where we're really, for some partners that are really dedicated to our solutions and really are becoming super educated and know really how to drive the business fully, we're looking at drive sales being an opportunity for the partner not only to find business and to bring deal registrations, but to do the demos and to answer questions and to come up with how it fits into the customer's network and really close that business. And we're all the way down to, we don't expose our quoting system to the partners, but we do let them go ahead and work on closing the business. And if they do that, they get another significant reward. Now, that's just with our traditional reselling partners. But as we talked earlier, there's more partner types. And when we start looking at OEM, MSP, the requirements and the benefits are a little bit different because OEMs, they're not doing deal registration. They're building it into their product. They're doing their own finding opportunities. So the same rewards and same benefits don't necessarily apply. So we have to adjust and create different rewards and benefits. So we've done that in the core program for the different partner types. And then the thing that we did in the end is we supplement all that with a rewards program. And that's, I know that we talked about, the question was, do you have, points, is it points based or, revenue and the requirements and revenue and training based. And ours is a little bit of a mixture. And we use those higher level levers to get the partners to do specific things. And just like Kenneth was mentioning, whether it's maybe registering deals or maybe it's running a marketing program that we've created for them, then they might get points for those things and then they get rewarded individually. So we're kind of giving them a path. I guess the piece that I would say is the modern leveling experience is giving the partners options for driving their own success and running providing them ways to integrate with our business and sell our solutions in a way that fits how they built their business.
Right, I love the way you described that as a path. I think you're right, and it's a degree of partner choice in that commitment as well, right? Not every partner wants to go deep with every vendor, so I think that makes a lot of sense. Natalia, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say from a leveling perspective for the reseller side, we have a very traditional approach. We're measuring revenue and training. As David was saying, last year we did actually include something that is new where we were looking at customer references. So for the higher tiers, we're asking partners to give us 1 or 2 customer references. That has been a soft requirement so far. We're trying to make that a hard criteria for next year, but it's obviously, you know, desires a bit of education. And I just wanted to make sure, for example, our co-delivery partner program, that obviously focuses on the partners selling services, and for them, we do focus on renewal rates and attach rates for services. So we do also require different things from different partner types. And maybe one additional thought I just had, previously in old extreme times, we did have a points-based partner leveling system, and it was quite complex and not that transparent. So we went back to the regular tiers. So I find that the partners, you know, the easier you make it for them to understand what do I have to do to be X, the easier it is for them. However, we also have a rewards program, like you, David, we have that as well, but that's on top. So all partners can participate in the rewards, and we will give points on the reward side for specific activities, register X number of deals or do that migration or whatever we want. And it's more like a tactical use of rewards, and then partners can earn points and reimburse them to whatever they want. So we have this on the points-based side. I just wanted to make sure.
I think we've got it exactly the same way. We've got our core program that's a little bit more traditional, just like you, and then we've got this points reward that sits on top. That's just but it's an add-on. And I guess maybe that's the thing, is that now as there's more partner types and we're really trying to get our partners to do more, that's the maybe a good balancing act, is make it easy for your core, but for those that really want to invest and find ways to make more money for themselves, drive their own profitability, they can take advantage of those extra points.
Makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
I would say, yeah, Margaret, just kind of doing a lot of these for different vendors. You know, there's pros and cons to both. I think the way Dave described there, kind of doing a bit of both, is probably really good, because, you know, some vendors that do just points only, it's really good kind of when you're designing a program, because it gives you a lot of granularity. You can really get down to, you know, certain number of points for taking a certificate, a certain number of points for revenue, for deal reg, for whatever it is that are the levers that, you know, are core to your program for that partner type. So it's very variable then. So if I'm an MSP, you know, for a certain amount of revenue, I'm going to get a certain amount of points. If I'm a regular VAR, I'm going to get something for registering a deal, and so on. So the points really gives you that level of granularity, which in turn lets you differentiate and segment your partner base, and it can do that based on, you know, product type, activity that they're doing, and even that can vary. A lot of vendors would have what they call zones. So to be a gold partner in one region is a lower requirement to be a gold partner in another region, but that's transparent to the partners, right? They don't know that, which, you know, from a vendor's perspective, that's ideal. So versus the traditional program where you do the tiers, but you base them on those requirements of revenue, of certifications, of number of deal regs, of renewal rates, whatever it is that, again, are your requirements that tie back to your business strategy or your overall business goals. One thing I would say on the points, kind of when you weigh the two of them up, is while it gives the vendor the granularity, I often see partners try to reverse engineer it. The first thing they'll do is, how much dollars is the point equal? So they'll start trying to reverse it. And the only downside, while it is good, the only downside of that is, once the partner is trying to figure it out, it's almost like, yeah, you know what they say, when you're explaining, you're losing. So that's just something that, you know, to be aware of as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, like, the other thing with points is, I think we've probably all heard of, like, Microsoft introducing points, and not to say it's bad, but Microsoft is big, and Microsoft can get their partners to do it. Hey, we're a little further down on the line card for some of our distributors and partners. It depends on where you are, right? So for some, we're at the top if they're security. But if they're not doing security, then we're further down. And getting them to adopt something that's totally different and new to the industry is really difficult. And I think if you're trying to keep it simple, that's I think why we chose, and probably Natalia, why you guys kept it simple on the reseller end with the traditional the trading and revenue measurements. But just to note, we do, and Natalia, I saw you maybe nodding your head. Maybe you guys do the same thing. We do have market segments. So for example, we have the US is kind of, and global's in its own category, and then we have the mature markets, Germany, France, Japan, and then we have the emerging markets where there's you wouldn't even be able to achieve what a silver level in the US is just based on what market availability you have in a small country. So we do segment that way to make sure that the program seems fair no matter where you are.
Yeah, we do the same.
Sorry to interrupt, Natalia. Yeah, Margaret, Dave brings up a good point there about engagement. So just kind of, I think it's worth touching on as well. Because, we do an awful lot of work, Dave, Natalia, myself, we do an awful lot of work on getting these programs, and we're sometimes very vendor focused. But you really have to think about it from a partner experience point of view as well. Some partners come in all the time, others might come in now and again, right? So driving that engagement so that they understand your program is really, really important as well, or trying to help them understand your program, because they're not going to read a 20-something page PDF guide of here's my tiers, how do you get to be gold, silver, bronze. So kind of doing that in a very intuitive dashboard. So when the partner logs into your portal, just having a single pane of glass approach is really, really important, that they can instantly see and understand where am I on the program and what do I need to do to move to the next level, or indeed am I at risk of falling down to a level below and losing some of my benefits. So I think I hadn't thought about it, Dave, but when you said the engagement piece, I think it's worth calling out that point in the partner engagement and understanding is a really critical aspect to doing a good program.
Yeah, that's true. And I think sometimes over communicating is key with partners, right? They work with multiple vendors, so the easier they can see and understand and be intuitive about where they are at any stage in the cycle in the year, right? I think it's really important. And the next question is for you, and you actually touched on this previously, is really around data, right? And obviously data is central to a successful leveling program. You need to be able to track how your partners are performing against